Welcome to the virtual Bronx Book Fair 2020. My name is Kuma. I'll be reading a couple of poems from two of my volumes. I hope you enjoy. The first one is Declaration of Self. I was miseducated about me. I was given someone else's his story that had nothing to do with I story. That still leave me searching for an identity, still living by the white man's philosophy. So I embarked on my own self-discovery, and here I am. I found out that my given name has no significant meaning other than a brand, a means of false identification imposed by slave masters, missionaries, and false Christian doctrines. I found out that civilization began on the banks of the Nile and that we're all Africans. It was one genetic strand that started the creation of human, the first Homo sapiens, sapien, original black man. We were the masters of crafts, built monuments and empires, kingdoms and the great pyramids, sailed the high seas long before Britannia ruled any ways. We were no slaves. We were the first to study astrology, mathematics, physics, and chemistry. We studied anatomy. We were the first to do open heart surgeries and brain operations. Imhotep was the father of medicine, not the Greeks or the Romans. Pythagoras, Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, all your so-called great philosophers, all exploited chemists' legacies. True Christian principles began in Ethiopia, Kush. Our stones were stolen by the Greeks, then brought to Alexandria, then destroyed in 46 BC by Emperor Caesar when he burned the libraries to the ground. But now the truth has been found. I know King Selassie, the power of the Trinity. I know the teachings of Marcus Mosiah Garvey and his prophecies, and the positive words of Robert Nesta Marley, Bob. I found out that all the negative elements about us were injected during slavery and is now affecting our society. Racial and social segregation is affecting the behavior of the younger generation and is simply a state of confusion that is leading to their destruction. So I think it's time to take a positive action and declare myself an African and furthermore a Rasta man. This one is called I Poem. You may find this poem protesting, antagonistic, not burdened by rhetoric. This not come with no bag of tricks. This poem is I Poem. This poem is I Poem, not this or that poem. I Poem is real, reflecting how I feel. I Poem is written in truth. Turn up the volume. I Poem is not mute. I Poem is a loud roar, a quiet ambush from jungle bush. I Poem cannot be captured by invaders, prostituted nor exploited. I Poem is rated, X-rated. I Poem was created to eliminate hatred, written to expose the masquerades, dressed up then paraded. I Poem is not written for cowards. I Poem is for the brave who is not afraid. I Poem is not hidden, it is center stage. I Poem is dark matter, it never aged. I Poem cannot be forgotten. I Poem is attacking your brain, messing up your minds. I Poem will up your entire existence if you live in pretense. I Poem is the essence of life. I Poem is the darkness that reflects your light. I Poem don't need approval. I Poem don't need to be equal. I Poem is a natural mystic, blowing like the trade wind. I Poem is a reflection in black minds. I Poem is on the front line. I Poem is not a behind poem. I Poem represents I bloodline. I Poem is the voice of the ancestors ringing in your ears. I Poem knows no fear. I Poem is a chanting, a haunting. I Poem is deliverance, dealerance, voodoo, Christianity, Obia, Condomba, and Santeria. I Poem is Rasta for I. I Poem is Afar, Amhara, Oromo, Ashanti, Dogon, Dinka, Fang, Maasai, Pygmies, Twa, Herero, Nama, San, Tutsi, Hutus, Zulu, Yoruba, Igbo, Mandingo, Wolof, Fulani, Kushites, IPOM is a global African family. IPOM is before Arabs and European invasions. IPOM is long before Cook stole Australia, before Asia split from Africa. IPOM is before the Darwin of their time, before Alexandria, Caesar, Leopold and Napoleon's crime. IPOM is long before that fellow, long before the confusions of who built what, when, where and how. IPOM is ancient. IPOM is now. IPOM is now. IPOM is now. Ringing in your ears. Ringing in your ears. IPOM is in up your brain. Okay. Blues. Sidewalks scattered with polluted minds controlled. Trapped in bodies condemned to park benches and subways. Tainted by overnight stench. Ignored by contact lenses. The lost souls, waiting for the Grim Reaper. Brothers, where are your keepers? As gentrification takes over, where the Black Renaissance once showed defiance, Happy Feet once danced to jazz, blues and reggae, and rap became hip-hop, from Last Poets to Gil Scott, to Nas and Tupac. Now living is a chance taken, with lucky escapes from police bullets, empty wallets, wishing away a penny for thoughts, bopping to Curtis Mayfield, pulling on a blunt to ease the mind, to deny the front page's headline of society's crime, occupied by statistics, reality checked, boxes ticked, labeled ethnic minority, inferior complexity in white man's stolen country. Harlem has become a safari for white folks to gaze, but we keep tapping feet in this jungle, to beats on concrete floors, to eyesores of boarded doors. This Harlem blues gotta wake us up. To snooze is to lose, as we may just slip right back to the blues. From the message to the messengers, they love that old slave narrative. Singing Negro spirituals without our rituals being performed. So we've been bound in slavery. Not for 12 years, but for 400 years we've waded in the waters. Now we're drowning in our own blood. Shouting Allahu Akbar in mosque, singing Kumbaya Milord in churches for a grand entrance through pearly white gates. Living this fairy tale, built on a fictional character of a blue-eyed white male, born of a virgin. We praise prophets, selling heaven for profits, yet haven't delivered on their promises. This one love rhetoric has stalled the revolution. Some will gladly sing the words of a redemption song, but never utter one against wrong. They will march and kneel, asking how long, with no real actions, glued to the distractions brought to you by television, magazines, and social media. They will gladly update a selfie to their status, not knowing that's how they've been profiled by the very system they trust. Attached to this superficial lifestyle is a lifetime being hooked on this lifeless line that defines and confines us. We think more and act less because that was the result of all these tests, telling you they have selected the best, knowing it was only those who wouldn't protest, so passive resistance is accepted. That way, agents can be injected to douse the flames of the revolution, disconnecting the elements, weakening our defense as they cripple us from the core. They're constantly trying to whitewash what's gone before, crediting themselves as gods over Canaan's land, occupying where they don't belong. Yet only a few will overstand, or even support those willing to make a stand upright and fight. The message is clear. But they'll only accept what's been sugar-coated. If it's slightly caramelized, they'll support it. But if it's burnt, it's often rejected. Just to protect their vested interests, they will sell you out like Judas, then crucify you like a Christ. I will never forget how they sold Marcus Garvey for rice. Now we must pay the ultimate price for ignoring the words to the wise.